just super quick, if I can pull that up, if I'm able to. Its rain rate is between 1 to 2 inches in an hour. So it is already rained pretty much a significant amount from what reports I'm seeing. It could rain it's already been up to recorded an inch within the area. So it's already been a recorded rain up to an inch within near of the area in Hobbs. So let's go ahead and let this play. Let me clear out all this information. Again, if you're just now joining us, there is an active tornado warning in Lee County. Hang on. In Lee, Andrews, and Gaines County. There is an active radar observation tornado warning in southeastern Lee County and southeastern New Mexico, northwestern Andrews County in western Texas, and southwestern Gaines County in western Texas. This thunderstorm producing a tornado was located 7 miles northeast of Eunice, moving east at 35 miles per hour. This is within this system, it can produce up to 60 mile per hour winds with tennis ball size hail that has been reported. So this tornadic activity, this thunderstorm, it is saying it is going to be remaining mostly over into rural areas of the southeastern Lee, northwestern Andrews, and southwestern Gaines, but Seminole is just slightly south, heading up into 385 down the highway. It is slightly south of it. So if you are traveling up, heading towards Seminoles, heading north on 385, just be aware there is a tornado warned system heading towards just dead center of the middle of the highway. Even though the warning box doesn't extend over there, it is still something you have to be very just aware of. So if you are even just a little bit south in Eunice right now, you are in still a slight observation of this tornado warning. So you may actually be able to see more of where this tornado actually is, even though you're kind of in a little bit of rain. If you are kind of more into the eastern portions, you actually might be able to see any type of rotation within the system, which right now, there is still a little bit of a hook that looks like it's trying to produce just a little bit a little bit west of Eunice. Let's go ahead and take a close look at that right now. It's nothing too defined besides, yes, oh my Lord. That is a very well-defined hook echo that we're seeing on velocity. So the winds are going towards and like this. The winds are going away like this. This is our velocity couplet of where we are seeing active tornado rotation within this system heading out towards south of Seminole. So let me go ahead and erase that, and let's just let this play. Let me go ahead and just also back up. So again, if you're on currently just south, just in the middle between Andrews and Seminole, let me go ahead and zoom in so we can kind of get a closer look of more of a localized of where it's at. So right now there is active rotation just near County Road 59. Near County Road 59, just a little north of Eunice, there is an active rotation within this system. The tornado warning is set to expire by 6 p.m. Mountain Time. So that is just within the next 15 minutes. So it looks like the rotation, honestly, in this system is pretty well defined. If it keeps staying more in the defined in that couplet like that, I could see them possibly extending it just a little bit more to the east, which the rotation is very evident kind of with the lines I've drew. The red is representing the winds away from our radar, and the green is representing the winds towards. So where the winds are going in a northward motion like this, and the winds are going in that southward motion like this, which right there is the velocity couplet within this tornado system. So right now, let me go ahead and erase all of this, and let's get a reading on what kind of wind speeds right now we're reading. It looks a little bit on the slower end right now, that's the tornado warning. Let me get a little bit more south if I can possibly do that. Right now, radar is reporting winds up to 50 miles per hour. Let me get more of a closer in look inside of the velocity couplet. Right now, in between it, we're seeing winds up to 30 miles per hour. So right now, it is still a pretty healthy type of system. Right now, I think they went ahead and just posted an update for this tornado warning. Right now, even heading into Gaines County. So even the warning is going to expire at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 7 p.m. Central Time. As still of the latest update, this is for the update at 6:36 p.m. from the National Weather Service. This is a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located at this at 6:36, 7 miles northeast of Eunice, moving east at 35 miles per hour. Let me go ahead and get that tracking out towards the north. So right now, let's get another radar update. They're on that fast mode right now to make sure this radar can update sufficiently. Let's back it up a little bit so we can get more of a wider angle and get more. There we go. Okay, the center of this rotation. Oh my, that is pretty wide. Looks like rotation. If I head it out towards 25 miles out to the east, and anyone in Fleury, please excuse me if I'm mispronouncing that name, by 7:59 p.m. Central Time, this tornado warning could be within your area in just between Gaines County on 380, between Seminole and Andrews. So if you are in this road out driving, just keep aware there is a tornado warning system currently coming within the region, which right now is a pretty well defined. I'm not seeing any signs right now that it is an observed tornado, which right now I'm gonna check and double check with the National Weather Service and seeing if we are seeing anything on our end, if we've had any reports of a tornado being on the ground, which right now we are seeing radar indications that there is a rotation within the system heading towards the middle of Andrews and Seminole right now. Okay. So again, this is a radar observation tornado. It's not officially reported on the ground yet as we speak right now. But it is still a system that you need to take very, very seriously, as it's going to be heading towards heads towards the east and between Seminole and Andrews right now. Let's go ahead and let radar update again so we can get the latest update and see how that couplet is looking. There is still a pretty well-defined couplet within the system. It is a little bit more on the smaller end. Let me go ahead and draw this out. It looks like we're having some of the inflow to be able to provide air in it. And if I'm getting reports that this tornado is rain wrapped right now, within the rotation area of this couplet, it is rain wrapped. So if this tornado gets observed on the ground, we're not going to be able to have a great visual of it as it makes its way across, even close to Highway 385 in between Seminole and Andrews, which rain wrapped systems are just very dangerous for the simple fact that it's really hard to get a clear visual observation of the system. Okay. So right now, let's just go ahead and take it back and let's just see more of the wider scale of the system, because we are still expecting to have some activity even into possibly right now. There's a little system just a little bit north of Kermit. It's kind of going more into that northeasterly-ish trend right now, kind of going like that. But we are still expecting activity to possibly start traversing possibly a little bit more north now into the Midland-Odessa region. So it doesn't mean we haven't seen anything yet. It doesn't mean we are actually out of the clear. This is something we are still paying very close attention to. Our models are not really letting up on any type of convection letting loose anytime soon. But just to go ahead and focus back onto the tornado warning at hand, let me go ahead and get a little bit more zoomed into it so we can see right now it looks like it's starting to thin up a little bit. Let me go ahead and pause it so we can take the latest look at it. Let me go ahead and get into my latest details. So the National Weather Service, they haven't provided another update right now within the system if it is a official confirmed tornado on the ground. It's more right now radar indicated. So let's go ahead and track it out. If this system does keep providing a strong rotation, it could be heading into Fleury by 7:34 p.m. and into the Gaines County line by 7:31 p.m. across 385 in between Seminole and Andrews. Let me go ahead and back it up so we can get more of a visual where the system is at. It is north of Andrews. It's going towards in an eastward motion, so like this. It's heading towards like this. There could be a little bit of shifts where it could go a little bit north and a little bit south, But just to keep in mind within the system, it looks to be more of a very healthy system. I suspect it could still be very lasting for just quite a little bit. So we'll go ahead and just let the radar play so we can get the latest update. Right now, it looks like it's starting to thin up a little bit, but the National Weather Service, we still have that active tornado warning for the next 9 minutes until 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 7 p.m. Central Time. So let's go ahead and take a look at our velocity product. Okay, let me go ahead and let it pause right here. It looks like the rotation has kind of weakened up a little bit. It looks, I would still treat it because it's more so kind of going in towards like this in a way like this. So we still have a form of rotation within this system. And I was still, right now, we don't know if this system is observed, if it is an on-the-ground tornado. We haven't had any types of report yet with that, but it's more of a radar indication tornado system that is expected to expire within 8 minutes now. So still, even though it's just a radar observation, treat this as still a real active tornado that is on the ground if you are within the area, especially out on 385 in between Seminole and Andrews, which right now the wind speeds within this system, we are seeing indications of, let me go ahead and get into the middle right there within this system. We are seeing wind speeds up to 30 to 40 miles per hour, and I expect those gusts to even be possibly up to 50 and 60 miles per hour, just a little bit more. So, and for folks in Eunice right now, this storm is slowly making its way out of the region. Right now, we're getting 20 miles per hour readings within this system. So let's go ahead and take a look back at our reflectivity. Right now, the system is slowly trying to make its way out of Eunice. It's a little bit more of a weaker convection, just a little bit more south. More of the dominance of the system is well north right here. This is where a lot of the system still has a lot of health, and it still is expecting to keep alive and keep traversing more into that eastward motion. So right now, let me turn that off, and let's just take a quick outlook right now at pretty much everyone right now. A lot of activity is starting to slowly try this. Actually, folks, in Sanderson right now, there's reports of actually power outages within the region. I don't have those exact details yet. It's more of just local reports that we've had. So if anyone could actually within possibly the Sanderson area possibly give us some confirmation if there is still those power outages, we would greatly appreciate it. But right now,
it was due to the tennis ball sized hail.
It was the tennis ball. Okay.
Tennis ball sized hail, similar to what Eunice is going through right now. They're seeing a lot of that tennis ball sized hail. So yeah, the tornado warning is expected to expire, but we're still seeing tennis ball sized hail being picked up on radar. So even if you're outside of the tornado warning area, notice just how much larger that severe thunderstorm warning is too on top of it all. So when we say to take shelter, we mean even if you're just close to the box, maybe not exactly in it, you're still going to see some large scale effects from the storm.
Exactly. So as you heard from Jordan, that this system was reported of tennis ball size hail, which is possibly one of the main reasons that Sanderson within the area, there is that those power outages possible. So again, this tornado warning, it is still now, it's past the actually central time zone now. It's set to expire within 5 minutes. Let's go ahead and just take a look at the velocity just to see how this system is looking, at least within the rotation. Again, there is still tennis ball size hail within the system, up to 60 mile per hour gust. It looks like a little bit of the rotation is kind of slowly starting to have a little bit of a recovery, but still not as much of a dominant feature. But still, it's still a rotating system. My apologies. Let me go back to that. It is still an active rotating system, so still treat this as if it is a tornado that is actively on the ground. If you are within the area, especially even on 385, find some type of shelter possible, because this system is heading towards 385 in between Seminole and Andrews.
So I have a new update on the tornado. National Weather Service says the rotation within the storm, which prompted the warning, has weakened below and no longer appears capable of producing a tornado. Therefore, the warning will be allowed to expire. However, large hail is still possible, down to about I believe it was golf ball sized. Yeah, golf ball sized hail. So the storm itself is weakening. You can kind of see that on the radar too.
Yeah.
No more significant purple hail cores, but still some small sized hail, at least enough to not just damage yourself, but also property. That's why we want to make sure you're staying indoors. Stay away from the windows too. You can actually see just the scale of some of these storms. If you're in Odessa or Midland right now and you guys are watching this, look outside. You can actually see just the clouds from the distance. If you look directly north, just how big of a scale of what we're starting to see in terms of these storms. We're still going to keep our eye out because I know a lot of you guys, you're going to be out at Ratliff Stadium. We've got all kinds of outdoor activities. Now, models are still pointing towards significant weather happening later tonight. Have we seen any development of that just yet? Not so much so. Just north of Kermit, maybe a little pop-up shower or thunderstorm, and same with Pecos, but Monahans to Midland to Big Spring, really not seeing anything significant now. Of course, if any of that changes, we're going to be on top of it. We're going to make sure that you guys are weather aware, that you are ready, alert for any kind of impacts that we can see. But even after some of these storms go through, notice Hobbs, for example, not really seeing a ton of activity right now, but still under that flash flood warning. They have had 2 significant storms come through with multiple tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings. And now, unfortunately, they're left with a lot of flooding. So over 30,000 people in that town with potential flooding. And keep in mind, West Texas isn't really built for handling a lot of rainfall. So an inch, maybe 2 inches of rain is enough to cause standing water. Remember the rule, turn around, don't drown.
There we go. We heard it from Jordan. So thankfully, as we were kind of seeing a little bit of the signs, this tornado, the rotation was starting to weaken, so they are going to go ahead and let this tornado warning expire. But we are still going to stay on until this tornado warning has officially expired. So just to give it more of a quick update on still what we can expect from this system, the severe thunderstorm warning itself is still going to be in effect until 6:45 p.m. Mountain Time, 7:45 p.m. Central Time. Within this area, over 9,000 people are affected, with cities within Eunice and Seminole are going to be into this path. So more of the northern portions of the storm is going to be affected into Seminole just any moment now. Let me go ahead and get an updated track on that. This system is moving at 30 miles per hour. So let me go ahead and track this out. Just at least from the little bit of core, like just very, very soon, literally within the next, at 7:05, you can start seeing a lot more of those deeper effects within the yellow. Let me go ahead and show the red, which the reds in this map is showing more of the heavier precipitation associated with it. So you can start seeing a little bit more of those convection and also lightning, which let me go ahead and pull up lightning within the system. Yes, there is a lot of lightning. This is still a very much healthy system with a lot of lightning. So remember, thunder doors, go indoors. Thunder wars and go indoors. My apologies, but this is still a very healthy storm that has a lot of lightning that is producing capable within it. Lightning can affect people well out, even close to 10 to 20 miles well outside the system. So people in Andrews, you can still get some type of effects from this lightning, and lightning bolts can travel across the sky well far out within its supercell. So it's something to still keep in mind. Anyone within 20 miles of the storm just need to keep an eye on this system as it kind of makes its way through. It's going into more of that eastern pattern, which Lamesa, I would start keeping an eye on this system. If the storm keeps staying healthy, keeps staying alive, you can start seeing more of these impacts within your region very, very soon. I would suspect, let me go ahead and track this out. Assuming if the storm says still 30 miles an hour moving, Lamesa, you could possibly see the cell within 9:52 p.m. if the storm stays alive, and Sand at 9:14 p.m. So Lamesa, I would start keeping an eye on this system as it keeps making its way out. So right now, the tornado warning has been allowed to expire. We are still expecting activity present throughout much of the night. A lot of this activity should slowly start to slow down into around possibly 10 p.m. at the latest 12 a.m. So we're still going to keep active updates on our social medias. Feel free to follow me and Jordan on our social medias as well. We're going to keep posting more of these active updates, and as well on News West 9. So keep up with the latest, and we'll keep you up to date with these systems.